Hey, everybody. So, going through specifics of content. So, I am going to do further videos that break down kind of each piece, go a little bit farther into detail with it. But I want you to have a kind of a more clear understanding of when you're putting out content, what type of content it is, why you're putting it out there, what the intention of it is, and how it kind of works. And because I can create you a bunch of content off of everything that I know about you, your avatar, your offer. But a lot of the content that is going to hit home the most is what's going to come straight from you and your heart, what you personally know, what you personally lived through, which is why with the intake form, I have you going through those three sections of 10 of like the 10 biggest moments in your life that you overcame, your 10 ahas, right? Go having those list of 10 are extremely huge. And I'll show you kind of why, because when I put together content for you, how can you take that content and improve on it and speak to your ideal client? Also, if you've been putting out content for a while or you have continually going through and continue putting out content and getting more clear, because putting out content is beautiful because it's permanent real estate out there that people can read, see, interact with at any point. And so over time, you will be speaking about the same things over and over and over again, but you want to make it different. You want to make it fresh and not the same thing repeated over and over and over again, right? Which, like, if you're testing an ad and you have five different ads you're testing, you find the one that hits, you're running that ad for the next 3 months, 3 years, however long it's good, because that ad is very, very good, showing up to new people who have never seen you, heard, or know about you. Connected on social media and organic, it can't work that way, obviously, because it would just be the same post over and over again. But we do want to be talking about the same things. Same thing with the avatar that I built for you. You can go to the sections of like their biggest fears, their biggest objections, their biggest thought processes. All of these pieces are really huge to creating content as you're moving forward. So I'm going to share my screen here. And so if you look at the fundamental basics of the five pieces of content, now if you look at when we talked about what a funnel is, so you have an ad first, a landing page, then it goes to a webinar, then it goes to an application, then it books a call, then they show up on your sales call, right? When you're looking at content, you want to look at it very much the same way. Each post has a very specific type of purpose. So is it the ad? Is it the landing page? Are you doing something that's a VSL that's educating them of what you do, how you do it? Also, looking at testimonials, case studies behind the scenes. So they're seeing results, understand results without flat out telling people, hey, I take you from this to this, right? Using a testimonial is really powerful. Using a case study is very powerful. Using a behind the scenes of, hey, I've been working with this client. This is what we've been working on, and here's where they're at. That stuff's very powerful because it's all story related. And it's tying somebody personally to where somebody was, to where they are now, to where that person has gone, where they want to go without you going, hey, I can get you from A to B. So they can be very powerful, and using stories throughout are very good, which is why, again, those lists of 10 are so important because that's coming directly from your life. And that can be some of the most powerful content you put out. Then the last type of post is kind of your call to action post, that getting people to book a call and a link to buy, because all your content, again, going through the process of organic content, it's to move people into the DM so you can start a conversation, send them assets through that. And I'll have other videos going out, kind of going through that DM process. So it's very easy for you to follow and know what to do, when to do it. And that's why creating different assets like a short form VSL, a long form VSL, having a video that's pre-sale material, because when our content engages somebody, moves them to the DM, then we can have a conversation, and then we have something we can send them to further them along through the process. So when they show up to a call, they're ready to go. Now, different types of content. So you have some content that Some people enjoy doing this, some people they don't. You might see me post a funny picture or talk about something just random, has nothing to do with business, but it's showing my personal side. Sometimes I post Bible verses or a picture of the section of the Bible I'm reading or a daily devotional. These are things that build your personal brand so people see who you are as well, not just talking about your offer. So whether it's getting them personally understanding your humor, right? Or that you like something specific, like you're a major foodie, something that attracts you and it's really interesting when you put things out. Like if you're a dog lover, your ideal clients potentially might be dog lovers, and posting about a dog could actually start bringing you ideal clients. And you'll have people that'll say, "Oh my gosh, I worked with you because I seeing your posts about your dog, and oh my gosh, I've got the same one." And that was a personal connection that they needed. So personalizing stuff is extremely, extremely important, and not just always have a call to action marketing type of aspect. And if you've coached with me at all, you've heard me lots of times talk about, yeah, if you every single post is a problem, agitate, solve, here's a link to my replay webinar. Watch it. People will black that out really quickly. I was actually working with a client earlier today, going through some of his content. And one thing that we discussed was just putting a link to YouTube. The thumbnail shows up. Beautiful thumbnail. Awesome videos. But if you're scrolling through Facebook and you're seeing that, it can sometimes just look like a billboard. And if people just consistently see billboards from you, that can be something that can turn them off. And so different ways of doing that as well, of like having shorter content that points people to take action towards it. And also understanding if someone's on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever it is, what may it be that they're there for? And if we're asking them to take a step outside of Facebook into like YouTube or out of LinkedIn, like YouTube, what is there a strong enough reason for them to do that? Because that can be very powerful as well. Because again, we're moving them through a buyer's journey by getting them to do that. So every post is not meant to get them to book a call. It's not meant to sell them, but it's to start getting them to buy into you, to trust you, to see your authority, who you are as an individual, what you know, the results you have, why they should actually hire you. So one of the first pieces of content are things that are like belief shifting, overcoming objections, also your worldview on things. And so, as an example, a post I just put out the other day was based off of a message I got from a client that basically said, "Oh my gosh, the last process I was going through, I didn't realize how much it impacted me mentally, and I've got a lot of things I got to overcome with that." And so I wrote a post about that, how many individuals are out there that have gone through programs before, and it's almost like cult like behavior or almost like an abusive relationship. And I've been through that. So that's what that post was about. That was showing my worldview. That also potentially could be some belief shifting for some people. That could be overcoming some objections for people of maybe they've gone through that and they're scared that that's the type of process I run. That's not going to be a very powerful thing if they are associating me with somebody else, and especially if that was a bad scenario. Now, another type of content is like educational results, outcomes. So, providing value, building trust by teaching your audience how to solve their problems or reach their goals. Now, these can be lead magnets, these can be hand raisers, these can be workshops, quizzes, polls, surveys, engaging people directly and actually providing valuable insights, which also drive leads potentially to opt-in emails, drive leads into your DMs, get you to follow you on other content platforms. So now you're showing up all over. And again, it's to move them into a buyer's next phase of the buyer's journey. Now, as an example, one of my clients just helping her with a workshop. So that technically, so we put together that workshop, wrote the social media posts, wrote the emails to go out to her email list, set up a landing page to get people to that, and then had the workshop. Now, also sending out emails after the workshop to send out replays or to get that for replays. Now, that workshop generated people to show up, some past clients, some friends, and so some new people as well. Now, she didn't get any calls booked during that workshop, but she did get one from within 24 hours of sending out the replay. Now, the other thing is looking at that workshop, that now is a lead magnet that can be used forever. That's something that she can post about a month from now. Hey, I've got this workshop on this. Now, that's potentially stuff you can even sell. So the workshop, you can charge it for $7, hey, or free, $10 free, $100 free, whatever it may be. You can sell a VIP process through that where they're going to get the replay and maybe they pay for it. It could be a lead magnet people have to pay you to get, or not, but also collecting emails. And collecting emails is really important, just like getting people to DMs through your content. And I'll have other videos we'll break down some of those lead magnets, hand raisers, and things like that. And if you're working with me, you should have those already created, and where we start refining, building, or setting them up to get people to you, because content, attraction to action. The content is meant to get attraction to you, and the content needs to get them to take an action, which is the next step to go. I need to jump in that individual's DMs and I need to work with them. Now, another form of content is your personal story, your past, your present, your aha moments, which again is showing the things that you have overcome, the things that you've achieved, the things you've encountered in life, the things you've learned, the things you've experienced, because the people that will normally hire you for most offers are anywhere from 1 month to like 10 years behind you. And they want what you have or the knowledge you have, or how you're going to take them from where they're at right now to point B the quickest possible. Some of the best ways to do that is to use your own type of posts about you and your experience. And this is documenting your journey. Even now, if we just consider today, day one, documenting your journey through what you're doing pulls people in. Because if you have an offer, you're probably living out that offer in some way, and you need to be showcasing that part, which is really, really impactful for most people's ideal buyers. Another type of great post is your insight post when it comes down to that, which is, again, offering the insight of like your past and your present. Oh my gosh, 1 year ago, I was in this scenario. I was stuck here. I did this. That you learned so they can learn it and potentially even apply it to start seeing a change, or to know that there's a way out and understand that there's a way out. And once they see that and they're following a little bit more, now continued content keeps going. Now, testimonials, case studies, behind the scenes, again, are showing some of the results you have, but in story form. You know, we've all seen marketing of, hey, I helped 100 different people reach 20K a month in 90 days or less. And that's all great. And a lot of people have bought marketing like that and then went in, paid really good money for that program, and realized that, yes, they might have had 100 people that got that result, but they had 10,000 people that went through it. So 99% fail rate. That's not a place where you want to be. And so people, the fact that they're more sophisticated, they've been online and more platforms and learned more since COVID than any other time. And a lot of your ideal clients probably have bought into a program, so they're going to be a little more filled with doubt or fear or skepticism. And we need to showcase some of that with also behind the scenes so they see how that you're different. And those are really key to help bring people forward. Then the last type of content is like your call to action, where it is kind of actually a sales letter post. Hey, if you're a person in this situation, you're going through this, well, I work with people just like you, and here's how I work with you to get from here to this result, here to this result, here to this result. People don't buy benefits and features, so we need to talk about the results, but we're giving them very clear action steps of what it looks like. And if you're interested in this, DM me. And so a call to action to jump on to learn more. We don't want to do that one every day, but that one should be done on a regular basis. So if every single week you're putting out different styles of content like this, and then throwing these details in, it could be a lead magnet, a hand raiser, you're having a workshop, you have other assets you can give somebody that's educating them to help them through their process and take them from point A to point B. That's going to build a lot of goodwill, a lot more trust, a lot more authority, a lot more conviction of, hey, this person can actually help me solve this. And in that, during that process, either they may reach out, you can send other assets to them, or when they see the post of, hey, here's who I work with, here's what I do, come work with me, they're immediately, there's no reservation, there's no hurdle to finally DM you that day and get that out. Or to go back, if we look, that's a beautiful thing about content, it does sit there permanently. And I've had people comment on posts that I did 2 months ago. I actually just had one today, actually. Let me see. And I just screenshotted it, I think. Sorry for being distracted here, but I wanted to see if I could pull this up. Good. I'm glad I screenshotted it. Okay, not sure if you can read that, but so August 7th, today is September 19th. But if you have a close rate below 35%, high no-show rates, I'm doing 2 free funnel audits, normally 1K, arrow pointing down, to go to the comments and have details there. Hey, shoot me a message or comment below. And I had someone just message me today about doing that. So we're talking a little over a month ago, and someone's reacting to that. That's someone actually I sent a friend request to just a couple days ago. So they've seen my content over the last 2 days. They obviously scrolled through, saw that from a month and a half ago, and asked me to audit their funnel. And that's the overall compounding effect of this. And having, and we'll get into the different platforms and different ways of moving people through, but that's the purpose of all this content. And I will have other videos coming out that's going to break down these different pieces of content, show you some other examples. And let me pull up just some basic ones right off the bat. So different ways of posting too. So like I have a black box. If your closing rate isn't near 50%, your funnel's failing. Here's why. So I actually typed that in and then screenshotted that to make that a picture, uploaded that picture, and then I added, is your sales funnel full of holes? Here's why your closing rate isn't hitting 50% and how to fix it now. Let's be real. If your closing rate is stuck at 30%, you're not just leaving money on a table, you're practically shoving it away. Most entrepreneurs I mentor are shocked when they learn that anything less than 50% close rate means your entire funnel is underperforming. This isn't just a minor issue, it's a significant problem that could be undermining your entire business. Think about it. Every time you get on a call and don't close, you're missing out on revenue you've already worked hard to attract. And this isn't about being bad at sales, it's about having a system that's broken at its core. Reality check time. In today's market, a funnel isn't just tech, it's every piece of content you put out, from organic to paid. So if your idea of a funnel is just to book a call VSL, you might be having even bigger issues. Here's a tough love. It's time to audit your customer journey from start to finish. Where are you attracting the wrong leads? Where are you failing to communicate your value effectively? But let's be clear, every funnel, every webinar, and every sales process hinges on a detailed framework that can either make or break your results. The journey your buyer takes before they even get on a call with you is filled with specific strategies and nuances. Overlooking these critical elements can devastate your conversion rates. 80% of my clients didn't even realize they had massive gaps in their funnels. And that's the real problem with those cookie cutter guru-led programs, generic tactics, no real strategy, and no focus on teaching you how to think, learn, or genuinely improve. I get it. It's not always easy to spot these gaps on your own. You have to ask the question, what does my business, my profits, and my life look like when your closing rate doubles in the next 60 days? If your business isn't reaching the goals and targets you want, maybe it's time to take a closer look at what's really going on in your funnel. Consider this a gentle nudge to dig deeper at the hard and ask the hard questions and think about what needs to change for you to finally see the results you deserve. So this one, I don't have any call to action. It's kind of a soft one, like, hey, this might be the nudge you take, but kind of talking about closing rates, funnels, which my ideal clients obviously all struggle with. And I had to call out the aspect of, if you just think a funnel is a book a call funnel, we're talking about something much deeper than that as well. Now, another one, the biggest threat. So same thing, made this one a blue one. Your ads are leaving 80% of your profits on the table. Here's how to fix it without spending a dime. And so a screenshot of a client's results. So kind of using a client's testimonial to break down actually of what's going on with their business and showing a little bit of an example there. Yeah, that's funny. Screenshot, actually, this one is from the one I just showed you. And so that's all the post was. And then it clicked down below. And then kind of more one of a call to action beyond the money game, how lead entrepreneurs are building dream businesses and why you should too. And these are a lot more on the marketing side and sales letter side than your average content. And it's meant to be that way. And just so you know, you won't get as much likes, comments, or reaction from it. Lots of times it seems like it's crickets. But that the reason why is because, hey, this is your ideal client. And the goal is to have them reach out in the DMs and not take any action. So if you're having content and you see and people click it, like it, comment, and you post this out and there's nothing, that doesn't mean a bad thing. And that's a hard thing sometimes in detaching from the content you're putting out, to understand that likes and comments don't make you money. People jumping into actually your DM so you can have a conversation and sell them is where you actually make money. And so you can see how long this post was, and it's a long, long, long post. And so I'm not going to read it and kind of bore you here, but it basically breaks down, hey, here I who I am. I've been in over 20 years of business experience, success, helped hundreds of business owners. But here's the truth: the most successful entrepreneurs I work with aren't just chasing dollars or chasing dreams. Now, I start breaking down to what I kind of do of, hey, I help you with your branding so your leadership and charisma becomes irresistible. So all the content you put on, actually people start walking to you rather than away from you. Your passion comes back because you're actually starting to grow your business again. Also, your content over time starts becoming a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week sales team. And when you're building, and we'll talk about the different platforms, but I'm a firm believer that you do perfect one or two platforms and you find the two that your ideal clients are on, but you also do repurpose that content. And I do suggest you do put it across more platforms than just that, because at the same time, if you're building and perfecting on two, it might not be ideal for others, but it's better to be building at least a foundation there to actually be gaining some traction rather than starting a platform brand new. If I use like YouTube as an example, you start a new channel, YouTube takes a while to get warmed up to you, so it's harder. So as an example, again, if we're using Facebook and LinkedIn, and we are doing shorts, we are doing some long video content as well through that process and using those on Facebook and LinkedIn, having those on YouTube as well and building, it's not optimized yet. It is still warming up the social media platform. Those are things where I've had, I know people that reach out to them from posts that they put out 3 years ago. And so starting to do that, and we'll get a video out and go more detail into the platforms, the specifics of them as well. And so this post then kind of gives a little bit of a client testimonial story of where they're at. So you're highlighting, okay, this business owner did this with me. Now they're getting this result. And then here's your result. Here's what you do. If this sounds like you, DM me Ignite. I'll personally reach out to schedule time to talk with you one-on-one. Now, before our call, I will audit your social media and your funnel and send you a video breakdown on areas I see that you can focus on and improve to start creating massive changes in your business immediately. Then in our one-on-one call, we'll dive deep into your vision, identity, what's holding you back, and craft a plan to build the business of your dreams. No cost, no obligation, just a chance to explore what's possible when you dare to dream bigger. Remember, you're already proven you can make money now. It's just time to make history. Are you ready to build a business you truly love, a business that changes lives, starting with your own? The choice is yours. Dream big or stay safe. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do call to actions. On this one, I'm letting individuals know if you are an online business owner, DM me Ignite. I'm not don't DM me just to have me send you a link and try to sell you. That's not the goal here. The goal is to see if I can even help you. And so I will audit your social media, which is a lot more intriguing to an ideal buyer of like, hey, you're going to dig in stuff personally. And every offer might not have the ability to do this, but it's going to have some ability to do this in some form. And that can be a game changer for you. Again, it's building a connection. It's taking away some down the stress barrier, and it's offering help to people for free. And there are plenty of people who I've audited their funnels. I've gave them the information, gave them my opinion, gave them suggestions and steps they could do, and they didn't hire me. And that's completely fine. A lot of them have messaged me back, said, "Oh my gosh, Scott, it's been 30 days. We implemented what you said. We our no-show rate totally changed, got better. Our closing rate went up. Hey, our funnel is actually bringing people to us now. Our ads are working. Hey, my content has changed." So it's not always about getting a person to buy, it's getting people help that they need. And so this is kind of a lead magnet, but it's also a call to action, which helps open the door for me to bring in clients as well and help people out there. And so the different types of content vary on each one. And so you have to view each post you're putting out. What am I putting it out for? Because all of it should be about your ideal client and looking at going through an ideal buyer journey. So some of it you want to think of like top of the funnel, which is your ads, which is your landing page. Then some of it's kind of the middle of the funnel, which is more like your VSL and your webinar. It's marketing, education, testimonials, and then also the call to action. Hey, book a call with me. And on social media, when you do a call to action one like that, of like book a call with me to work with me and buy, they should have consumed a bunch of that content that took them to that funnel. So when they see that and they're reaching out to buy from you, you're gold. Now, the other thing is that's where having pre-sale materials is when that person does reach out, say, I just saw your post. Now you have an asset you can send them to watch first, and then they show up even with a deeper understanding of actually what you do, and it helps your sales process go a lot quicker and a lot easier. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that was helpful. And like I said, there's gonna be other videos we're gonna dive deeper into these specifics and really kind of help you grasp it. Now, again, if the forms I had you fill out where you're filling out like your list of 10, I created one, if not two, three, or four potential avatars for you, deep dive into those avatars. We take that information along with the personal bio that I created for you, and you can pretty much have unlimited created content at that point because we can combine all that to get the right information. What does the client actually looking for? We can also base it off of trends and what people are searching for, which helps with understanding what people actually want today in this moment than what maybe they were buying 3 years ago. And that helps us evolve over time. Then as we're putting out content, we can be tracking that, see what type of results and responses we're getting. We can always be improving on that. One thing over time too, and excuse me, is as we're taking sales calls, And if you're not closing them, what are the objections? What are their fears? What are their doubts? We start learning from them too, because then we can have content directly speaking to those areas as well. So it's one thing to, if you're a client of pulling up old sales calls that didn't close and listening to them. So we can pull out that information, talk about that in the content. Hey, this is what's going on. It can be a really powerful piece. So hope that helps, and we will talk soon.